Whenever you're ready, bud.
Imagine walking out from backstage and hearing the screams and roars of the crowd. You can feel the heat from the blinding lights as you walk up to the microphone and begin to sing. Having lived in the same town and listened to Garth Brooks most of my life, I know the feeling of being a fan of the most popular country music artist. Today I'm going to tell you about Garth Brooks' unbelievable journey to the top of the country music industry, starting with his early life to his country music career and how he changed the country music landscape forever. From an early age, Garth Brooks was singing and performing, but that's not all that he did. Garth Brooks was born on February 7th, 1962 in Tulsa, Oklahoma. He later moved to Yukon, Oklahoma, where his family held weekly talent shows where all the children had to perform, and this is where Garth learned how to play guitar. But he really concentrated on athletics. He played football, baseball, and ran track and field in high school, and later earned a track scholarship to Oklahoma State University as a javelin thrower. He later dropped the sport and concentrated on his music. His favorite type of music was rock and roll, but even though he did listen to some country. An article from Biography.com 2011 states, Garth picked up his style for music from playing in bars and clubs while in college. This is where he began to integrate rock and roll into his country music. When Garth graduated from school in 1985, he dropped everything and pursued music. Almost 5 years after Brooks graduated college, he came out with his first album, and from then on, nothing would be the same. Brooks' first album climbed into the top 10 on the country charts. Not only was he popular with country fans, Brooks also crossed over into pop charts as well. Garth Brooks composed many hit singles like Friends in Low Places, The Thunder Rolls, and The Dance. Garth's second album, No Fences, spent 23 weeks atop the country charts and sold more than 10 million copies. His third album, Ropin' with the Wind, was the first country album to debut at the top of the pop charts and sold over 10 million albums. Stephen Thomas Erlewine, senior editor for AllMusic, stated in 2009 that Garth Brooks was the most pivotal figure in country music history. He integrated rock and roll into his country music and put on concerts unlike any other country music artist, using explosions and light shows like a rock concert. Garth Brooks sold tens of millions of albums throughout his career, but it's the legacy that he left behind that changed country music. Jeannie Moore Campbell, an editor from the Oklahoma Historical Society, stated in 2011 that Brooks was the biggest selling solo artist in American history. He won 2 Grammys, 16 American Music Awards, 11 Country Music Awards, and 18 Academy of Country Music Awards. He is the only artist to have 4 albums to sell 10 million copies each, and he is also named Artist of the Decade in the 1990s. As you have heard, Garth Brooks changed the landscape of country music through his career, left a huge pack on the music industry. So next time you listen to country music, listen and see if it sounds more like pop or rock and roll, and remember that Garth Brooks and how he changed the country music landscape forever. Thank you.
Who'd like to be next?